Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marilisa and this is the Girl Meets Yarn episode 9. I'm on schedule. It's been 2 weeks since I last podcasted and I cannot be any more happy to be here. I will have to say I have to record today because my son is arriving tonight. His birthday was yesterday. He is 23 years old now. I know, it's insane. I look so well. I had him when I was really young. I was 19. Put it that way. So we are gonna have a weekend of exploring Seattle. He said that in Conway, Arkansas, where he's at, that it was just like 90 degrees. So he is excited to have like a couple of days off of the blasting heat that is the South. Anyway, so yeah, so I have some finished objects and I have 3 very young whips, and then I have some plans and some stuff that I want to talk, so let's get into it. So I want to take a moment to salute the 2 unlikes people that I had video number 8. I will have to say I didn't got any of those for a while. I was a little worried. I was a little worried. I was losing my cool, and nobody unliked me and whatever. And I got 2 unlikes, so I was just so excited. I was just like, back into YouTube, people. I am back. Watch out. Anyway, so thank you for giving me life. Seriously, I was just like, oh! Somebody don't like it. Somebody don't like it. Anyway, thank you for everybody who sees my videos. I know it's really hard to understand me, and I will say this anecdote, okay? It happened to me the other day. So I went, the story again, okay? Because I blew it, okay? So I went to this place that is called Babar, and it's kind of like a fusion, Asian fusion kind of restaurant. It's really not fancy. It's just really cool, I would say. I will probably insert a picture of the bar area or something like that. Anyway, so I decided that I was gonna have some pho. So I asked for pho ga, which is the chicken pho. If I say that right, I will probably. Anyway, so I said, can I have some pho and some fries, right? And the guy was like, yes. And this is the second time this happened to me, and I was so mad. So he comes in with the pho, which is the big white bowl, right, of stuff, of goodness, and then he brought some bland rice, and I was just like, I don't want rice, I want fries, and I was just like, okay, just whatever, and I was just so mad because the first time I was just so mad as well. I was like, nobody understands what is coming out of my mouth, so I need to work on my phonics because, English is not my first language. So I really salute the people that take their time and record themselves in a second language, because it's really difficult. And it's really easy to sit down and just be like, judge somebody for talking Spanish, right? But some of the people that have heard of doing a lot of that judging is because they don't know any second language. So spread out your wings, people, before you have some judgment of somebody else talking in another language, because it's hard. It's really hard, especially if you learn it after a certain age. Your brain doesn't get it equal, like when you're a kid. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So first finished object, I'm going to go get it, and for some reason I tried it on and I didn't. you know, put it, anyway. Okay, so first finished object, I have the Piece of Silver by Vera Malimaki, if this wants to behave. There we go. So guys, I finished it up. So I will have to say, I thought I was going to have super short sleeves and I was not going to have any, it was going to be like 3/4. Right now is right where my wrist is. So for me it works. I wish I had a little bit more yarn to make them longer, but it was not possible. So I think I had to go in, I think it was an inch 14, so or a little bit more, but it works. So I was doing a magic loop on them last time we talked and I couldn't take it anymore. It was just so confusing and I was knitting so tight. So I went and I weighted my yarn, which I used the Red Rosaria Mondium, and I think it's 209 that I got at Tolt. I couldn't get another one, so I had to work with whatever I had, which I just bought 3 skeins. And we can go back into my problem, which was that I gauge swatch and I decided to go with a size 6 needle. The pattern asked for a 5, but suggests a 5, and I go gauge with a 6. But I guess when I knit and I get kind of comfortable or whatever, I don't know, because if not I will have tackled the problem. So after a while I start to get looser, and I'm already a loose knitter, so I didn't have enough to make the sleeves. So I went ahead and I weighted the yarn that I had left and I just cut it up, divided it in 2 balls, and then I finished one sleeve and then the other, and that was like in a day. I didn't spend too much time on it. I tried it on and it's just so pretty, and when I blocked it, it definitely changed the way the yarn feels. It's still woolly, it's still a little bit on the rough side if you want to say, but it definitely bloomed really pretty when I blocked it. It's really thick. I will have it, not thick, but you know what I mean. It's a woolier yarn. So yeah, so excited. I'm gonna go ahead and try it on for you guys because I tried it once, but I don't remember how it even was. And I have a stitch marker in the front, so I know that it's the front because I have to put my label on it, because then I will put it backward. I'll be back. Okay, I have it on. This is the Piece of Silver, and I will have to say I am super pleased. So you can see there's like a bubble when I switch from the magic loop method to each one individually. So I just have a little bit of bubble, but that's totally cool. I have no problem with that. It is what it is. I will probably just wear it like this. It has turtleneck. The pattern asks for 10 inches of turtleneck. I cut at 9.5, and I think I should have cut it or make it like a 9 or 8.5, because I don't have a long, super long neck, and it just kind of bunch it up. And again, it got looser. So you see, well, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's going to completely, you know, shelter my neck. But yeah, it's a little roomy than it's intended. It's not that bad right now that I'm looking at it, but then again, I think the end result is really pretty, and I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to do it again. I love the detail on the raglan increases. So here you cannot see it, but you have 6 stitches that you just, you know, sometimes when you do the raglan increases, you just have that stitch that doesn't, that is in between the make one right, make one left. She just have 6 stitches in between. So you have this cute line that goes down through your sweater all the way, and on 4 sides of the sweater. I'm gonna take this off because I'm dying. What was that? Anyway, so if you use a one color or a solid color, that will be a really nice design detail. And because I always love that raglan stitch going down, but this 6 stitches going down is something else. So I plan to do this again, and I plan to definitely probably shorten a little bit the, I would love to have one of those stand-up colors, high colors, kind of like this, instead of having all this, just having probably like 3 or 4 inches and then just have that as my neck, because I think that will be really more my style. So yeah, I love this design. This was like my TV, I'm watching something, not paying too much attention sweater. So since I made this, I need to have one now always in my queue or in my whips that is just for watching movies with my husband. Anyway, so that was really, really nice pattern. It's a pay pattern. I think you can find it in the Lane Magazine #1, or you can buy just the pattern. So if you just have that magazine. Anyway, okay, second finished object is this beautiful sweater that I have on, and is the Twigs by Junko Okamoto, and I'm going to get on my feet and show you guys the finished object. So here we go. This is the back. And this is the front. Not too much difference. You will know the difference because you have a little bit of short rows happening on the back. And yeah, that's it. I blocked it. I have not weaved the ends. You can see my white belly, but I need to go ahead and do all that. I did wash it and I did block it, but I have not sit down and do that. So I'm sorry about that. I know I'm a bad knitter. Anyway, that's my knee, by the way, making that weird sound. Yogis. Anyway, so I will have to say I love the finished object, and I'm going to sit. However, I was not a fan of the process, and I'm going to go into detail why. So this yarn is the Araucana sock yarn, and I will put the number here, name here, and whatever of it. And it's a super wash sock base, 100% wool. And I use the LRA yarn that I have left over from my Tegna, and I bought some Manos Uruguay Fino for the white, the contrast. I bought a yarn to use it with this. It was a speckle yarn. It didn't work. You couldn't see the contrast at all. It was just not working. So I did want to be more of a, not, you know, like this is marble, and I think that is a nice balance in between the solids that are the contrast color. That makes sense. That makes sense. Anyway, so I have talked about the struggles with the yarn. She asked for sport. I bought DK. It didn't work, or it was more like a worsted, and I thought it was DK. Anyway, I bought DK. I bought sport, and then I finally bought this yarn, which is a fingering weight yarn. That's the only way that I can get gauge, and I got gauge with a 2mm or US 2 needle, or 3 millimeters, I think it is. I think it was 2.5. I don't know. Anyway, so I got gauge with that needle, and I was just like, oh yeah, great. I have the yarn, I have the needle, but I didn't know what I was getting into. So the process was really difficult because it's like knitting on toothpicks. It's so thin, the needles are so tiny, and this is so massive that it took me forever to separate the sleeves. It took me forever to even do a repeat because, you know, you keep on adding, or, you know, opening the sweater up, going into, you know, the addition. until you get down into this area here, which you have like 500 stitches that you're working with color work. So just a little bit too much before you separate for the sleeves, and then you have, you know, a bunch of stitches too, but it goes faster. So I had arguments with this sweater. You have no idea. I used to like look at it and roll my eyes and be like, I hate you, sweater. I'm not kidding. It was bad. But I finally, when I separated for the sleeves, I could like breathe, and then everything went down really nice. I was a little bit concerned on the, I think it's 8 inches. I don't know how many inches this is, but this is 60 row repeats of the cuff. So it was a lot. The only way that I could manage this was with a magic loop. Thank God you cannot see any laddering or anything, so it worked. I don't suffer from sleeve island. I think the sleeves are the easiest part. So I went into it, and I think I did them in a couple days, if not a week. So I am super excited with the final result. And I will have to say, if you want to have a sweater that's going to be staple on your wardrobe, and it's going to be just something that will be very attractive, and it will really show your knitting colorwork skills, this is the pattern. I love the fact that she did the increases, that's what I was looking for, really smart, so you don't see any holes on it. The increases were not too rush or sudden, so it just really flows beautifully down. I will have to say I'm a 35-inch bust, 29 inches waist, and then 39 inches on hips. So I consider it a medium, and I will have to say there's a lot of room here. If you're bustier, or if you are looking for something, you know, or you're a little bit heavier than I am, I will guarantee you that you're gonna love this sweater anyway, because right now, yeah, it's really, you know, cute and whatever, but there's a lot of room for you to be on it. So, or then again, you can do some math and just make it a little bit bigger if you need, or maybe a little smaller. I have a friend who's doing it a little bit smaller. She just cut, I think it was a repeat. I think that what she's doing, but she's going super fast. So these are my two finished objects. I'm gonna take this one off because I'm gonna have a heart attack soon. I am not freaking kidding. Okay, let's go back into knitting podcasting. Anyway, okay, so let's go, or let's talk a little bit about work in progress. So I have another finished object that I have. I'm gonna show you that one later because that's too much and I just cannot put something else. But I took something out from hibernation. I will talk about it soon. But I forced myself to finish these two sweaters, which it was, for some it was a joy, for the piece of silver it was a joy, for the other one was not that joyful, but I make sure that I finish before I cast on. So that's the best way I work, so it worked for me. So let's go with the first one. So last time I talked about the Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry, and that I was planning to make it with the Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the color Woolly Socks, or Sock Wool, Woolly Sock, I don't know, hold on. Yes, it's called Wool Socks. So it's kind of like a rusty, reddish color. I don't know how that, because you have some spots that look orange. So it's like a burnt orange, or I don't know. I love it. So again, it complements my wardrobe. I'm very consistent with that. And here is my progress. So I have no progress whatsoever. I am row 6, if I can say. But there you can see the garter stitch right away. So not a lot to talk about it. I will have to say that I have never bought, or this is the first time I've been working with this yarn, and I took my mighty time to find that perfect sweater that I think I couldn't get away with using another yarn. I thought the wooliness and the tweediness of this yarn worked really well with this sweater. So I went and I got the yarn that I needed it. I thought if they robbed me, because it's so expensive, not because it's not worth it or it's not amazing. I think it's really amazing. I will have to say it's really thin. If you have never worked with this and you're like a tie knitter, I will be a little bit, you know, mindful on how to treat this yarn. It's 100% American wool, which, you know, we're trying to keep our business here. Because I know some people say like, you only use stuff that is not American. We have to support everything. But this one is a Tangy Columbia wool. I don't know what that means. I will look it up because I cannot not know what that is. And this retail, I bought, I think there was 6 or 7 of these, and they are $16.75. So they're a lot of money, a lot of money. So it's a 50-gram skein, and it has 275 yards. So, you know, if I really love the way it looks. However, I gauge swatch for the wool and honey, and I will have to say that I got gauged with a 2.5 US needle. And I went and I had like a flashback of those times that I was like screaming at my twigs because I did got gauged with the US 2 needle, but I sneak out the 2.5. I did the 2.5. So I was just like trying to, didn't remember in those moments that I was screaming at my sweater. So I took I took the executive decision to not use a 2.5 needle. I cannot do that. So the pattern suggests a size 4 needle, so I went down quite a ton. So yeah, I got gauged with the 2.5. I hate working with 2.5, so I'm going to do it in a size US 3 needles. And instead of doing the medium, which is what I usually do, I'm going to go ahead and do the small. And I think I'm going to be safe there. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. And I need to go down to a size small because I'm not through medium. Some patterns I do. But I will just keep an eye on it because I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm super excited. Super, super excited. So there's not a lot of progress, I will have to say. But I hope for the next one I have some progress. Okay, so the second whip that I have 3 right now, and the second and third are the same pattern. Okay, so I have the no frill sweater by Petite Knit, and I was looking into my wardrobe, right, and I was looking into my stuff, and I was just like wondering, okay, why I don't have like basics, what is going on that I'm not knitting basic things. So I went into why, and I did a little bit of research, and I noticed that yes, well, I can buy a black sweater, right? I can go buy a black sweater, and the basics, right, I can go and buy it, and then I can make something more special, right, like color work or something lacy or whatever it suit your fancy, right? But then again, I was thinking, okay, so if I am all about the slow fashion, right, if I'm all about make your own stuff and build your own wardrobe, why for me it's important to have specialty stuff when the day-to-day things that I reach for in my wardrobe are classic stuff like a black sweater. That makes sense. Build your base and then you work on the standout pieces. So I think the next couple of sweaters are gonna be just one color. I hate color work. I cannot do color work to save my life. I cannot do it again after the twig. I cannot do it again. So I'm going to do like a couple of sweaters that are just plain AF, if that, you know what I mean. Anyway, without further ado, or updo, what is that? I don't know how to say it. I'm going to show you the no frills. Okay, so after I said all that I said, you're gonna say, oh, but I see speckles. Great, I do have a lot of speckles. Okay, so here is the swatch for you. This is a Ritual Dyes yarn held together with the Isager mohair yarn. I don't know if I show you this yarn. I think I didn't show you the swatch. But if you see the swatch, can you see all that? Hold on. Wash it down, Marilisa. Wash it down. And not much to show. I have like 10 more repeats of the yoke. I think this is the back. There you go. And I think I'm going to use this a lot. So I have a kick for blush color, and even though it feels like it's really simple, I think the yarn is just the, you know, it's everything here. I have to give it a little bit of space for the yarn to stand out, and I think that's exactly what it's doing right now. I love this combination with my hair. I think it's going to look so pretty and soft, and I think this color is really trendy right now. The blush, I have never ever reached for anything blush. I will have to say I don't like pink, but this is kind of like an ecru-y, super old rose situation going, so I think I can wear, I'll wear it a lot. So with that said, I'm in love. I am so in love. Okay, so when I started my podcast, the first project, or one of the first projects that I show, it was the Mayu sweater by Espastrico. And at the moment, I was having a lot of issues with that particular project. It was not the design, it was just the overall project. Like, I have problems with the yarn. I got rip off with, I was staying on my truth. I thought I got rip off. Anyway, so I bought so much yarn, so much needles, like it was not working. I couldn't get a swatch. It was just that first thing that you get that you cannot figure out. So I have to make this the executive decision and say, okay, I'm gonna frog this out. It's not working. And it's a beautiful design, and what it triggers me is that it's not work on the round, it's just work like front panel, back panel, and then sleeves. That for me was a little bit, you know, it was just not very attractive, but the pattern is amazing. I think it's one of those patterns that caught me into knitting. Like, I was just like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to do this and wear it. I would say it got me more into garment knitting. I would say that. So I went again and I frog it, and I have this huge ball. It has like, I don't know what inside of here. There has to be something, because I think I just had like the ball and everything there. So I know this is Rowan Kid Silk mohair in here, and it's kind of like a bluish purpley gray kind of situation, and then the Debbie Bliss tweed sock yarn. So I did get the yarn that they were referring for the Mayu, but I couldn't take it. Anyway, so I frog it out, making it a huge ball, and then I was just like, why don't you just do a no frill sweater with this yarn, with that ball, and just and just have it like in your backpack or have it in your car, so whenever you have something to do and you forget your knitting, which I forget my knitting so much, you will have something to do. So this is just kind of like those whenever I have time, or if I find you, I will work on you. So I hope that this will get, I stand on traffic too much, although you should not knit when you're on traffic, but sometimes because there's so much because there is so much traffic around here that I have to always get out of the house super early, and then sometimes I arrive right on time, and sometimes I arrive to the places 30 minutes before or 40 minutes before, and I go to stores and buy stuff and I shouldn't. So there you go, my car knitting. There you go. I want to talk a little bit of what I've been loving recently. So I found these two podcasts that I love. One is just like, I cannot wait, and I think I have posted about it on my Instagram stories, but it's the Caddy Jack's Knits. It's a brand new podcast. There's two friends that have been friends forever, they're knitters, are doing this awesome podcast that I love. One, the blonde is called Jackie, and the other one is called Caitlin. So they've been friends forever, and you can tell, you know, it's not forced, and I love the fact that they're very trendy and they do awesome stuff, great stuff. One is a super fast knitter, the other one is not, and they're just like the awesome complement to each other, and I love that they have great stuff, colors are awesome, everything. So go ahead and give them some love, and like and subscribe, because you're going to love them. They're really cute, and you know, they're just, you can tell, you're gonna like them. You're gonna love it. Just let me know if you saw it and just come back to me. And then the other one that I love is Sarah Catherine Young. Sarah Catherine Young. I'm gonna put the name here. I found her. I believe is from Vancouver. She is gorgeous. She's young, and I love the fact that on episode 2 she was with this pom-pom headband that I need to make for probably the next podcast. I need to make myself a crown, and it was a crown. She called it the pom-pom crown. And then she is drinking sparkling wine. Like, she's like, I don't do tea. You know, like, I don't know if she does tea or not, but I was just like, you're my girl. You girl, mimosa girl, you are my girl. Because it was just like awesome. And the stuff that she does, it's kind of like, it's kind of there. I love everything she does. And she does like blankets made from Brooklyn tweed for her friends. I was just like, I want to be your friend, because I will not make myself a Brooklyn tweed, you know, blanket. I'm not going to give it away. So you have a lot of compassion, and you're very giving, because I will not even to my kids. Like, if you probably have, like, I don't know, I will probably do it if you ask for it for your, I don't know, 21st birthday, or, you know, graduation present, something like that. But go check them both out. Give them some love. You know, I love watching seasonal podcasters, and I also love to find new ones that are out there trying to be out there. So I think I said, if not, I caught it, but I switch my wardrobe around. I do that sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. It depends, okay? It depends on the moment or whatever. So last year I made the toaster sweater, and I think it's here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. The toaster sweater by Sue House 7, and it's blue in the white, like always. And this is the sweater 1. So I bought the bundle. They had the sweater 1 and 2. The 1 doesn't have all this stitches, wrangler stitches on it. It's kind of like a boat necky, slouchy neck. Really easy to make. This one's a little bit more structured. This will take a little bit more time, And for the fabric that I bought, I thought this was gonna be easier, which I think it was the worst idea ever, because it was super thick and it made it super difficult to sew. So I used this one a lot. I think I made it like 4 or 5 times, and I did it again. So I went to Dry Good Designs. It's a store in downtown Seattle, and I bought this fabric. Okay, it's getting blown out of proportion, of course, but that's okay. I saw, right, because I'm always like searching for trends, that having snake skin, I have a thread. Ah! Can you see it? Okay, so I was looking into trends, because of course I'm not dead. So whenever I'm in the nursing home, then I probably will be, you know, wearing like old shit. Anyway, so, so I was looking into trends, and I saw that snake skin fabrics are on trend. And I will have to say, to this day, if I see a python, I will kill it and I will make it a sweater. Or, sorry, I will kill it. I will kill it and I will make it into a purse. I will make it into a wallet. I will do the same with crocodiles or alligators. I will kill it and make it into something. So, I have to say, I am in love. I cannot wear it. It's so hot. But I think it's just like a different twist to the classic sweater or sweatshirt. So long cuffs, they start from here, and you have this neck that, you know, like kind of boaty high neck. So I am so excited to be able to wear it. I'm going to be able to wear it with overalls, with skirt, with jeans. So yeah, get your stuff ready for fall, because you know fall is coming. Fall is here in Seattle, I would have to say. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit of planning. So I'm in the planning stages of my wardrobe. I'm waiting for a book that is arriving today. It's the Curated Closet workbook that Jackie from Jackie from the Cuddy Jack's Knits showed me, and I went and I got and bought it for it, because you know I think she said I want to put a little bit of attention into my wardrobe, and I totally get it. Like if you put a little bit of attention and you are very mindful of what you buy, you can have a great closet. So I am in the process of creating my wish list, if I would say. But I went into my wardrobe and I noticed that I'm missing a lot of skirts because I don't have any, or I'm missing bottoms. Like I want to do the Lander culottes or pants. I want to make so much stuff. So I'm going to give you a little bit insight of what I have already. Okay, so I'm going to do the kimono jacket from the Wig Stand pattern shop, and I will insert a picture here. And I found, let me get this fabric out. So this is the fabric that I'm gonna make Mimi a sweater. I will have to say that. Mimi, we're gonna be twinsies. And I got this one at Joann's Fabric, and I think I got it when it was like $1.50 a yard. I have 3 yards here, and this is ecru with the blush. I think I'm gonna do this one with that kimono, and I want to do it so I can have it around the house, or if I want to just go do some errands or walk the dogs around. I have something cute to throw on with my leggings and my long t-shirts, and still folly and cute. So I have to go ahead and buy the lining. So it asks for, I think it's like 3 of It's a lot of yarn. Oh, sorry, a lot of fabric. So 3 and 3, I think it's 2.7 something, and then 3 off the lining. So I have to go get the lining. But I went to this Joann store here, and I think they're like the top of the line stores. So I had to go get out of there because I was just like, oh god. So another one that is not my fancy, it's not my color scheme, but I think I'm gonna do the same thing with this one, and then the lining I'm gonna do in the black, just to have it around and have it like a lounge wear, kind of like throw over my shoulders kind of thing. And then I want to get a nice wool color that is probably a tan, a mustardy tan or a black, just to make one to go out. Kimonos are super trendy right now. If you don't know, of course, you know. Yeah, so the pattern is really expensive, I will have to say. It's $16 just for this pattern, but you can make it short, medium, or long. And I think I'm gonna do the medium or the short. The short is so stinking cute because I have so many long kind of coats right now. So yeah. So another thing that I want to do are the mini culottes by the named, I think it's called Pattern Company. And I love those ones because those ones are just kind of like a elastic waist. You do it with the jersey, and you do it as crop if you want. And I love that, the fact that you can just go ahead and put it on, and you can do errands, and you don't have that button like, you know, squeezing your guts out or anything. It's just very really easy to wear. And the thing is that you will make the garment with the fabric, so you can get a really nice fabric and just wear them pretty like more casual to go out, or you can do something more homey and more, you know, very casual. So I want to do that one. And then from them I've also bought the Talbiki, I think it is called, Talbiki sweater, and I have a fabric for that. I just left it. I have a scuba jersey fabric, really thick. And the good thing about, I'm going to insert a picture, is that you have kind of like the shaping of the neck is with these stitches that go down your neck. So that's going to be super interesting. And I again think that you need a black, a white, or a solid, so you can be able to see the detail of the tailoring on the neck. So I want to do, what else? I have cardigans that I want to knit and I want to make. So skirts, I have 2 on my queue. I can't talk about that later because I know it's getting too long. And then I want to do the Jenny overalls by the Classic Case pattern again. And before that, I'm going to show you this one. This fabric I got from the Dry Goods design again, and it has a rose gold kind of detail. So I'm going to do the #1 shirt. I don't remember by who it is, but I'll put it down here. So I think I'm going to do this one. Really nice to be under. And then I bought this one as well there. And I love the fact that it's kind of like it's embroidered. It's embroidered. So it's I think it's like a linen cotton blend. It's really thick. She suggested that I do the kimono with it, and I was just like, no, I'm not. I don't want to. And then now I really think that I should just go ahead and just get the pattern and see if I can do get a piece of the pattern and then go out and get more and just do another piece of the pattern, because I think I got a 1.5 to make the shirt #1, but then again I don't have enough. I need 3. So, but this is so pretty. I was just like, I don't know, it's not warm enough. Anyway, okay, and lastly but not least, I have this fabric here that I bought in Portugal, and for some reason I got a meter. I don't know why. Oh yeah, let me get a swatch. Oh well, no, not a swatch. Let me get a bigger swatch. Let me get a meter. I was thinking, who does that? Marilisa, go to another country and then get a meter. Okay, this is wool. has this beautiful polka dots. You guys know it's on trend, so go get your polka dots or your bubble sweaters. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe a skirt. I don't know. I don't know, but I love this one. I have not washed it because I know whenever I wash it, I'm gonna ruin it. So it's gonna be a dry clean only. And then lastly, I was talking about the Jenny overalls, and I stopped myself to show you this fabric, but I've never talked about my Jenny overalls. And I wore this the other day, and you cannot see the details because it's really, it's really, you know, black doesn't get. So I did the one with the pocket on the front, and I did the culotte or the crop version. And I did this one in a stretchy linen from Joann's, although she said and specified on her pattern, don't use stretch. And what Marilisa does, go get some stretch, okay? So I was a little bit worried that my butt was gonna be, you know, like super highlighted, so I need something to go around my butt. But then there's some other areas that I mess it up, like this band. Maybe I have to just get a picture of it. But I have wore this so many times. I have wore it so freaking many times. You have no idea. It's on repeat on my wardrobe, and I'm gonna use it all the way till it falls apart on me. It's so nice. Why? Number one, you have that kind of wider leg. I was super on board with those overall, you know, around, but then they were all skinny, and I'm like, okay, hello, listen, I'm curvaceous, okay, I have hips, and I have a booty or something similar like a booty, so I don't want a taper skinny leg that's gonna accentuate my hips and they're gonna be this big, right? So I like the fact that this pattern just opens where the hips are, but it's not like super big. It just makes your legs look slender. And then I love the fact that she has that belt right on your waist, and then you have some shaping on your booty, so your booty really, you know, your booty's out there. It looks good, I will have to say that. And I'm going to insert a video here. I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I'm not. Anyway, so I like the fact that you have, you know, the nice straps, and then you have, you know, you have pockets in the front, and you have that pocket in, you have pockets on the sides of your hips, and you have that front pocket, like placket up here, that I thought I was not going to use, and I have used so much. I have used this thing so much. You have two pockets on the booty, you have two pockets on the sides, and you have a pocket in the front. So sometimes I just go for a walk and just put this on because I don't want to be carrying anything on my hand, so I just put it somewhere. Anyway, so highly just try it. I thought it was going to be super difficult to make this sweater. I just, you know, just look for it. I don't know anybody's expertise. I just know the way I handle my sewing, and I was a little intimidated by it. I was super intimidated by it, and I was like, I don't know, you know, I think it's going to be difficult. It was not difficult at all, and I thought it was difficult because she asked to decide if you want to do one zipper on the side or two. I think it will depend on your hips. For my hips, it worked just one, so it was perfect. Just one, super easy. Legs, the shaping on the back was super easy to do. Even adding the waist placket to the bib, It was really easy. Even getting the straps on, it was just so simple, if I can say that. I will say it's an intermediate, but it's kind of like an advanced beginner intermediate. So, you know, sometimes you can try to keep on going and trying to work until you get into the next step. And sometimes you just have to get yourself and push yourself into it. And the instructions are so well written that you're, you know, and she even have, I think it's like a sew along, and she has pictures and she takes you through it. So yeah, I'm not getting paid for it, but I will have to say I don't regret, not even once, making this. And I made this one in May, and I've been using it on repeat since May. It's amazing. And I want to make one, this is what I'm talking about it, in a jean material, and I want to make one probably in a khaki or a color like this. That makes sense? Or a little bit, yeah. I think that will be cute, and I will wear it a lot. I would love to do it in a corduroy or a heavy canvas if I'm going to do a color. So yeah, Jenny overalls. I love it. Okay guys, so that's all for now. I said it's going to be a 20-minute video, and I think I've used like hours. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so you know where you find me. You can find me. I'm always DM away on my Instagram, and I see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care. Happy knitting.